Hello, everybody. Ew. Let's start over. Hi, guys. How's it going?
I'm Jamie.
I'm Kylie, and you are on episode 50. Can you believe it?
Oh my God.
Isn't that crazy? The time just flies. We're almost at our 1 year anniversary
Oh my gosh.
of Historia.
That's crazy because for 50 episodes, like for a good chunk, we were only doing like one
Yeah.
each. Mm-hmm. But still, that's a lot of like research
Yeah.
to be doing for all of those.
I'm proud of us.
Yay.
We've made it pretty far.
Happy 50th. Woo. I
Woo.
should have bought one of those poppers.
Yeah, we should have had something to celebrate, but we don't. So yeah, we're going to be doing a fun little episode for our 50th episode, just to spice things up, and then we're going to be jumping into Jamie's like 7-parter or something.
It's going to be pretty big. Like, I haven't even finished my research yet because I've spent all week doing it because I wanted to go as in depth. But there was a lot of stuff that, like, I didn't understand. And
Yeah.
I'll get into it when I start talking about it, and you'll be like, okay.
I'm excited to find out what it is.
Yeah, Kylie doesn't even know. Have
No.
you made a guess? I will do that in the next episode. You can make a guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I need to share the results from the soda polls that I did.
Oh, yeah. People answered.
They did. They answered. So the first poll that I did was, what do you call these drinks? And it's just a picture of Coca-Cola. I had soda as one, pop as one, everything is Coke as one, and then soda pop, because you told me to add that one.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody voted for soda pop. I'm sorry. 67% voted for soda.
Okay.
17% voted for pop.
Okay.
And 17% voted for everything is Coke.
Wait, what was the percent?
17.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So then I asked, what's better, Coke, Pepsi, Mr. Pibb, or Dr. Pepper? Obviously, we're on Team Mr. Pibb. Everyone seems to hate it.
Oh.
But Dr. Pepper won, obviously.
Oh, of course.
With 56%. Coca-Cola was in second place, 22%. And then Pepsi and Mr. Pibb both had 11%.
Oh.
So there were a few people who voted for Mr. Pibb.
See, no one likes Pepsi. I feel like Pepsi
Yeah.
is just like the one that you're like, oh, you don't have Coke products? I guess I'll get Pepsi.
Yeah, it's like, what? Why don't you have Coke products? Yep, every time.
Oh, I'm so sad. I love Mr. Pibb.
I know. So at least a couple people voted for it.
But you know what? Dr. Pepper definitely deserves the #1 spot because they're like zero. Because I can't really say much about like Coke Zero because I don't like Coke.
Yeah.
But like I've tried all the other different types of zeros, and I think Mr. Pibb has the best that has like the original taste.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, well, other news. I don't think I ever told you guys that I got a dog because it kind of happened spontaneously.
She's so precious.
So I got another dog. She's a little Rottweiler. She's only 2 months old. She's just a little baby, but she has her long legs already.
Oh, she's gonna be the biggest out of all of them, but right now she's like the little runt.
Yeah, so now we have 4 dogs running around downstairs. So any barking, we will try our hardest to
it's all
avoid.
Layla. It's
but
all Layla.
Layla's a little nervous right now.
Oh yeah, she'll get used to Basil in no time.
Yeah. So any barking that you hear, sorry, it's not going to be as bad as it used to be. Okay, promise. But yeah. Anyway, welcome to episode 50. I'm feeling good because I am almost done with school. Oh, yes. So my summer's about to begin. I've survived a really hard school year. Feels good.
Yeah, and then we had this fucking bullshit weather. It snowed here about, James measured it last night, and it was about 9 inches at our house.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it snowed that much. But of course, like it was a really heavy snow, so it broke so many branches and trees and stuff. It was absolutely horrendous. Like I was like shaking my trees in the morning yesterday, but it melted so quick because it's it's so warm
Yeah.
that it just doesn't stick.
Right. Yeah. One of my trees broke. So that's fun. But yeah, it was just a crazy storm.
Yeah.
And sometimes that happens in May, but
I didn't think it would be this bad. I think it was worse than the last one we had in 2019.
yeah,
But go figure.
probably.
I know I had someone on, I think it was Remy's Instagram, that we both follow each other, but she commented in a video I posted of him in the snow. She's like, "Oh, I'm guessing you're in the Springs." And I was like, yeah.
You guessed right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. All right. Well, are we ready to jump in?
Yes.
I have 50 random history facts for today to celebrate our 50th episode.
Yay.
And I got this information from a lot of different websites. I pretty much just looked up like weird, interesting history facts, and a lot of them had the same things. So I tried to find some different ones. But there's some good stuff on here, so I'm excited.
Ooh.
So I'm just gonna go and if there's anything we want to conversate about, we can. But I'm just gonna start reading them off.
Let's do this.
Okay, number 1. Paul Revere never actually shouted that the British are coming.
I heard about that.
Yeah, because it was actually really quiet during this because the British were obviously trying to get to them.
Yeah.
But also the colonial Americans were still technically British.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't even make sense if he said it. So there you go. Number 2. In ancient Asia, death by elephant was a popular form of execution. I have heard this before, but I wasn't sure how. So it's very intense. So
savage.
they basically, because elephants are very smart, so you can train them to do things.
Yeah.
And so they were taught to slowly break bones and just like step on people and like crush their skulls. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then they would like put blades on their tusks and then have them like hit the person.
Not Dumbo.
I know. And isn't it like, don't elephants feel emotions or something like that?
Yeah, they have a really good memory, and they
Yeah.
do feel emotion, because especially like if their mother dies or something, they will weep
Yeah,
and
so
mourn.
I wonder if it like affected their emotions, like their mental health.
Probably.
It was so sad. But that was a thing in ancient Asia.
Oh my God.
So
Really hitting it off.
I know, right? Yeah. Number 3. During World War I, France created a fake Paris. And they created a lot of the big things that were in Paris. They wanted to throw off the German bombers and fighter pilots. So they thought they were in Paris when they actually weren't.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's fun. Number 4. I've heard this one before. I just think it's crazy. Alexander the Great was buried alive on accident. Because he suffered from a brain disorder. So he was actually paralyzed, but mentally aware.
He was also like 30 years old too.
That's so crazy.
He was pretty young.
I know a lot of people were buried alive, but it's just like the thought of that.
I don't think they ever found him though, or like where they buried him. We still haven't found him.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
Man.
Maybe one day.
Sorry. I'm not crying. I'm just sick. Jamie was sick last time. Now it's my turn.
It's just this cycle.
Yep, pretty much. Number 5. The world's most successful pirate was a woman. Her name was Qing Shi, and she was a prostitute until she married a commander of a ship, and then she became a pirate.
I think I've heard about that.
Yeah, I wanted to do an episode on her at one point, but there's just not a lot of information.
Yeah.
So never ended up doing that. Maybe one day I'll find more info.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, pretty cool. Number 6, the Avengers was a group of Jewish assassins who hunted Nazi war criminals after World War II.
I love that.
Yeah, they ended up poisoning over 2,000 German prisoners.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that's the Avengers.
They literally avenged.
Yeah. Yep. I didn't know the Avengers were a real thing. Besides like the movie, you know?
I think it would be cool to do like an actual episode on them.
Yeah, it might be.
Inspiration.
Yeah, if there's any of these facts you want to know more about, we can definitely do more about it. Number 7, women were once banned from smoking in public. So men could, but women could not. Mm-hmm. Until 1908, when a woman was fined $5 for smoking in public.
What?
Yeah. And so she took it to court, and then they abolished it 2 weeks later.
So fucking stupid.
Right? Okay, this one's funny. Number 8. Forks used to be known as sacrilegious.
What?
So they were seen to like be using forks to eat as an offense to God because you're eating with artificial hands.
Did you just use spoons then? Like,
I guess you use your hand. I don't know what they want.
fork?
Because the spoon technically would be an artificial hand too. So they might just like put their hand in their food and just
That's disgusting.
yeah. So number 9, fox tossing was once a popular sport. So people would literally pick up a fox and throw it as far as they could in Europe.
Oh my God. So stupid.
Fox tossing. Man. Number 10, this is a big one people know about. Turkeys used to be worshipped as gods. Because the Mayan people thought that they were vessels of the gods.
Of a turkey?
Yeah. So they would worship turkeys.
I love
Whenever
that.
they would see one, they're like, "Oh, hail this little turkey."
It's just like,
No, they're just like, "I want food." Number 11. President Zachary Taylor died from eating too many cherries and drinking too much milk at a 4th of July party in 1850. He was killed because he had some like disease from the acid in cherries.
oh.
So it was too much acid that was consumed, and so he ended up dying 5 days later on July 9th.
What? That is such a bad way to die.
Right? Don't overdose on cherries, y'all. Don't eat too many. I'm like, how many did he eat?
He had to have eaten a lot.
He just sat there just like 4th of July. Number 12, during the Victorian era, people photographed their loved ones after they've died.
Oh yeah,
Yum.
it is very interesting looking at those photos. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, they don't look dead, but then when you read the caption, you're like, this is very haunting.
Yeah, there's a lot with like kids. It's
Yeah.
like they basically just put them in their best clothes and they put them in life-like poses, which is the creepiest part.
Yeah.
But they did this just to preserve one last image of their loved one that they could have forever.
I don't like that.
No, there's other ways. Just like paint them.
I just thought of a really fucked up thing.
What?
At least for like the children, they wouldn't be messing around during the photos. So bad.
You could make them smile for once.
Oh my God. That's so sinister,
Aw.
but I mean, it's true.
Number 13, Pope Gregory IV declared a war on black cats.
There's a Pope Gregory.
Apparently. I know, I was like, who's that? He believed that they were from Satan.
Of course.
And so he ordered extermination of all black cats in Europe. However, this turned out not to be a good idea because now they had more poisonous rats.
Yeah.
And then they believed that that was one of the big causes for a lot of plagues.
Mm-hmm.
Because he wanted to get rid of all the cats. Now
So-
there's mice all over the place.
Now you can say fuck George or Gregory.
Pope Gregory IV.
Yeah. Fuck
Fuck
you,
you.
dude.
Fuck you, Pope Gregory.
You caused the Black Plague.
Yo, don't get rid of cats. Even though they're annoying sometimes.
I love mine.
Yes. Good old rubes. It's, our episodes just aren't the same without hearing her feeder go off.
I can bring it.
Just the feeder.
Yeah.
Ruby's just at home like, where's my food?
You'd be so pissed.
Number 14, Mary Had a Little Lamb was a true story. There was an 11-year-old girl named Mary Sawyer who lived in Boston, and she was followed to school one day by her pet lamb. And so they created it after that story. But later on, she helped raise money for a church by selling the lamb's wool.
Oh.
I know. I was like, okay.
Well, it'll grow back.
That's true. So Mary did once indeed have a little lamb.
Doesn't have wool. I don't know. I don't even remember all
Mary
of the
had a little lamb, little lamb. Fleece was white as snow.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't have any fleece now.
And everywhere that Mary went, lamb was sure to go. Whatever. Anyway. Yeah. All right. Thomas Edison is like so crazy.
Yeah, he is.
He didn't actually invent the light bulb.
Correct.
Some people think he did.
Mm-hmm.
He stole a lot of inventions because he was known to have 1,093. He stole most of them. Mm-hmm. The real inventor of the light bulb was Warren de la Rue. He was a British astronomer and chemist. I also heard that, so Hollywood used to be in New York City, but they moved it to LA because they wanted to get away from Edison. They didn't want him to be in control.
I love that.
Yeah, because he was trying to be in control of everything.
Didn't he kill an elephant?
Probably.
I think he electrocuted one.
We need to do an episode on Thomas Edison because he's crazy.
Yeah, he is.
Number 16, in ancient Rome, urine was used as a mouthwash.
I heard about that.
Delicious.
Mm-hmm.
The reason for this is because it has a lot of ammonia, so it's a good natural cleaner.
Ew.
I don't know if I could do that.
Mm-mm.
Probably not. I want you to be clean that bad. This one's really sad. It reminded me of the dancing plague that I talked about in one of the first episodes. But during the Great Depression, this is number 17. During the Great Depression, they had dance marathons. But it wasn't just let's go dancing. No, it was like a human endurance contest for you to win money.
Oh.
And so married couples who were broke would come to these competitions.
Yeah.
And they would be forced to dance until the competition was over. So whoever's the last couple standing would win money.
Oh my
and
God.
they would be able to eat for a few days. So what they would do is the couple would switch off.
Yeah.
When one of them fell asleep, the other person would pick them up and still continue dancing with their sleeping body.
Oh my God.
Isn't that so sad? Just so that they could eat.
Dude, the Great Depression was a wild time.
I know. Anyway, I was trying to think of a joke, but I don't know. Dance your butt off. I don't know. All right, that was stupid. Number 18. I like this one. I knew about this, but Shakespeare invented yo mama jokes. He has a play, a really good play. I really like it. Titus Andronicus. And in the play, a character says, "Thou hast undone our mother." And then another character replies, "Villain, I have done thy mother."
Oh my God.
So that was the OG yo mama joke.
I love it.
I love in Napoleon Dynamite when he says, "Your mom goes to college." I truly think that's what started yo mama jokes. After Shakespeare, obviously. But yeah. Number 19. Tablecloths used to be used as one giant communal napkin at dinner parties. So people would just people just pick it up and wipe their face on it.
They had to have been much longer then.
Yeah. I just like the thought of imagining them just picking it up, wiping it on their face.
I would be pissed as a maid having to clean it up. Be like, oh, they made another mess on it.
Right? They're spilling wine all the time and all kinds of things. Yeah. Number 20. Before alarm clocks, there were people called knocker-uppers. And they would knock on their clients' windows with a long stick, soft hammer, or pea shooter to wake them up.
What?
Which makes sense because I never thought of that. I never thought about what did they do before alarm clocks.
Yeah.
So they had to hire people to wake them up.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. We really are taking away all the jobs.
Yeah.
Technology. Just imagine that though. You just look out your window and someone's just with a stick. Wake up. Number 21. Ancient Egyptian pharaohs used their slaves as fly catchers. And they would put honey on them and then have the flies come to them so that they could die in the honey. And this way the pharaohs would not be touched by a fly.
Oh, yeah.
Because, they can't.
They can't.
Number 22. Cowboys used to wear bowler hats, not cowboy hats.
Imagine that.
I was like, they don't wear cowboy hats. They are lying to us. Number 23. The word hooker for a prostitute came from the Civil War. There was General Joseph Hooker who brought prostitutes along on campaigns. So they ended up just calling them hookers.
What? Oh my God.
I know you all needed to know that fact.
I think they still call them that in Britain, don't they?
I think so, yeah.
In the UK?
Yeah, it's definitely still used.
Mm-hmm.
Number 24. Nipple piercings were popular in Victorian England.
What?
Yeah, they wore gold rings on their nipples. And this was created by Queen Isabella of Bavaria? Probably Bavaria, who wore dresses that showed off her piercings.
Wow.
So she like started this big old trend.
Legit.
Isn't that cool? And so it just became a thing. Number 25, Charlie Chaplin once entered a Charlie Chaplin lookalike contest and came in 20th place.
Wow.
I thought that one was funny.
Imagine.
Right? Number 26, between 1900 and 1920, tug of war was in the Summer Olympics. I would watch it if it still was.
There's the countries get to choose which sports.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do any of them still?
For that, probably not. But like, I know that the next summer one in France, there's not going to be baseball and softball because they're not very good at it.
I didn't even know they had baseball in the Olympics.
They brought it back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for Tokyo, they had it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because Japan is pretty good at baseball and softball.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And they had surfing too because they have the
that's
coast.
Cool.
Yeah, but I don't think there's some that like France can be like, no, we're not going to do that here. Especially it depends on the location.
Yeah,
because I think they're trying to have one in LA again, so I think they might have surfing then.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
I know nothing about the Olympics. I still think they should still have art in it though.
Why? It's not sport.
Because art is a sport. No, I'm just kidding.
I know I've been wanting to go to the new Olympic Museum. We almost went yesterday, but I want to go with my family too.
Yeah.
To bring them with.
That'd be cool. Mm-hmm. Number 27. John Adams and Thomas Jefferson died on the same day, July 4th, 1826. This was exactly 50 years after the U.S. was created.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know this. As he was dying, John Adams' last words were, "Thomas Jefferson survives." He's like, at least we have Thomas Jefferson, not knowing that Thomas Jefferson died a few hours before him.
Oh, no.
Isn't that crazy? Like, oh, wow, because they were president right after each other.
He lied.
Yep. So this one could be a hoax.
Ooh.
But on February 6, 1922, there was a Native American named Chief John Smith who died at the age of 137.
What?
But like that's what he so-called said that's when his birthday was, but like
you don't know. Yeah.
Right. If not, I think the oldest person they said was like 122.
Yeah.
Who's survived. So 137 would be impressive, but they know he was at least 120 is like their guess.
Yeah.
So pretty cool. Number 29, the Beatles refused to play for segregated crowds, which I don't always think about, like, what it was like to play in the 60s, you know? But in September 1964, they were going to play at Gator Bowl in Florida. And then they heard that they were about to go out and perform.
Yeah.
And then they heard that it was for a segregated crowd, so they refused. And so this led the concert producers to be like, okay, I guess we have to desegregate, otherwise they're not going to perform. So they ended up doing that, and then the Beatles put it in their contract that they wouldn't perform for any segregated concerts.
That's awesome.
I know, right? I was like, love them. Oh yeah, and they also said like they don't care if they lose their fame for it.
Oh yeah, like the 60s were a time of just like reborn, of just kind of in the sense of just more like freedom,
right?
Of just, and of course when you're that famous,
yeah,
like you want to look at the bigger picture. And segregation was like such a problem here in the U.S.
Yep, it's crazy. Number 30. This one's funny. A group of men jokingly added a woman to a mayoral ballot in 1887, and she won.
Oh my god.
She became America's first female mayor.
That's so sad that it was on a joke, but
right? But like that's just so funny that she won. That's a slap in the face.
Yeah.
Her name is Susanna Salter.
I wonder how well she did as mayor.
Right? I love that though. Number 31. This one's crazy. So Bill Nye's mom was a code breaker for World War II.
Oh, that's awesome.
Her name was Jacqueline Jenkins Nye. And she worked alongside a codebreaker that led to actually catching the mastermind behind Pearl Harbor.
Oh, I love that.
So
that's so cool.
Bill Nye's always like, I got my brains from her.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, you did.
Oh my god.
Number 32. The Mary Celeste was the first ghost ship. So on December 5th, 1872, the Mary Celeste turned up adrift. Nobody was on the ship. They just found abandoned possessions and no lifeboat. All 8 members of the crew disappeared forever, and it still remains unsolved.
Why did they abandon ship?
Nobody knows.
Oh my god, that
Nobody found him.
Hate unsolved mysteries.
Right? Me too. Like, someone just solve it, please. Number 33, Persians drink to help them make decisions. They believe that if someone had enough wine, they'd be honest. So they'd be able to decide things. So whenever they like would come and like decide on a matter, they would all drink.
I mean,
they're
not wrong.
Yeah. I feel like that's a good strategy. Oh. Number 34, this one's for the Karens. So Joan of Arc inspired the bob haircut. She cut her hair because what they know of is it was the voices in her head telling her to do it. But a lot of people like were inspired by her haircut, and that's where the bob comes from.
Wow.
For all the Karens out there. I guess what the heck? I guess the Karen haircut is not really a bob. Because isn't a bob just like the short hair?
Yeah.
Karen's haircut is like,
it's the spiky in the back.
The Karen.
Yeah, but it has like that fringe.
Yeah. But anyway, could be it. I don't know. Maybe some Karens have bob haircuts.
They do. I've met them.
Yeah. They're the ones who say nachos.
Nachos.
At the movie theater, they always say, "Can I get nachos?
Can I get some tortillas?"
What
is side of queso?
Can I have popcorn without butter on it? Make me one that's white.
I don't want any salt in it.
Yeah.
The fuck? You want bland ass popcorn?
Classic.
We're petty.
Yeah, just a little bit. Number 35. In 1876, it rained meat in Kentucky. People said that it tasted like lamb or deer. But nobody knows where the meat was coming from.
It rained meat?
It was just falling from the sky.
Oh, well, I'm guessing that there was some sort of transport of like a plane.
There had to have been, yeah.
So
but
it was like cloudy with a chance of meatballs.
Some brave people ate it
to
figure out what meat it was. I would be like,
I hope they cooked it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know if it was cooked or not.
Well, they would probably die if it was raw.
Yeah. Good old Kentucky.
Good Lord.
Number 36. Napoleon Bonaparte was hounded by rabbits. In July 1807, he requested a rabbit hunt for him and his men. And so they sent 3,000 rabbits that were caught. When the rabbits were released, instead of running out and going, they actually ended up charging at Napoleon and his men. And so they counted it as a war. And so they were forced to retreat.
I love that.
Isn't that great? Number 37. A Japanese soldier didn't know that World War II was over until 1974.
I heard about that. Yeah, he was still at his post.
He's just sitting there like,
ready?
Nothing's happening, but I'm ready.
Ready to shoot anybody.
Yeah, so his name was Hiru Anada, something like that. And he lived by himself for 29 years at his post in the Philippines. He was a secret spy, so he's like, I am not leaving. He believed the war was still going on until 30 years later, a commanding officer came by and proved to him that it was over.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, that would suck.
I wonder how many people told him, like, dude, the war is over.
Yeah, and he's like, whatever. You're lying.
No.
I will stay here. Number 38. Hitler was very gassy. He took up to 28 different drugs to help his farting problems. Isn't that great? Next movie they make about like the Holocaust, they should just make Hitler fart everywhere.
Just keep taking meds.
Yeah.
And one guy be like, why are you taking so medication? He's like, wouldn't you like to know?
He just starts farting on him. I saw a lot of facts about Hitler, but that one was my favorite, so that's the one I chose. Number 39. Starting over. Number 39. Ancient England pronounced ask as axe. And so when they would like read the Bible passage, they would say axe and you shall receive. So axe was actually how it was pronounced. Because I always think of like the kids who are like, I want to axe a question. It turns out they're not wrong. Number 40. A 17-year-old designed the American flag for a school project. He got a B- because he put 50 stars, even though there were only 48 states at the time. Yeah. But he ended up obviously predicting right with the 50 states.
Jude is a freaking like fortune teller. I don't know.
Right. So he wanted to get his flag out there. So he wrote 21 letters and called the White House 18 times. Finally, the design was made official in 1960.
Dang.
Yeah. Okay. Number 41. Abraham Lincoln was a licensed bartender and a wrestling champion. He fought in almost 300 matches and only lost one.
I would like to receive a drink from him.
Right? I'm also curious how he wrestles because he's so tall.
And lanky.
Yeah. But he like never lost.
I mean, with his height, because it's all about weight class. So
yeah.
He probably used his height to his advantage.
That's true. Just funny to imagine him wrestling.
I know, right?
I wonder if he wore his top hat while wrestling. That'd be funny. Number 42. Salem thought that tomatoes were poisonous, and so they tried banning them until someone ate a whole basket without dying.
Yeah, it's the leaves that are poisonous on them, and that's what happened too with the Spanish.
Oh,
when
yeah.
they found, like in Latin America and stuff, when they found tomatoes, they were like, oh, and they ate the leaves, probably thinking it was like basil or some shit.
Yeah.
And then if you do consume enough, like it is pretty poisonous, but they probably felt how soft they were, and they're like, this isn't normal.
Yeah. I just thought that they made some guy eat tomatoes in front of everyone. Like, prove to us they won't kill us.
Pretty much. It's like, just don't eat this part.
Number 43. Doctors used heroin to treat coughs from 1898 to 1910. It was a non-addictive substitute for morphine.
Okay.
Yeah. Which we just talked about, you know, with like cocaine. Like there were a lot of drugs that were used to cure things until people started abusing them.
Yep. That's how it always happens.
Yep. Number 44. India has not been invaded by another country in the last 10,000 years.
That's because everybody just wants to trade with them. Because
Yeah.
they don't know what to do with the country. They're
That's
like,
true.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Y'all got tigers. I don't want to deal with that.
Exactly. Number 45. The Leaning Tower of Pisa was always leaning. It was constructed on unstable ground, and they were just kind of like, oh, well. Let's get going.
The architect's just like, we could fix this, but it seems to be a favorite.
He's like, Jerry, let's just keep building it. He's like, all right, fine. And so there we go. Leaning Tower of Pizza. Pizza. It's not pizza.
I watched the second Zombieland the other night, and there was like they do like a zombie kill of the year, and this one guy literally got like a jack and put it underneath the Leaning Tower and just jacked it up and killed a bunch of zombies that way.
Oh my god. That's hilarious.
It's like, is that even possible?
I just love that they were like, you know what? It's fine. We're just going to leave it like this. That would be me as an architect. Number 46. Greeks didn't eat beans because they believed that they contained the souls of the dead.
What?
Imagine being scared of beans.
Just be like, oh, here's some beans.
He just runs away. No. No beans. Imagine the first Greek that was like, I'm going to eat a bean. I'm going to eat a soul. Number 47. The Dutch once declared a war against the Royalists, and this went on for 335 years. However, there were no battles and no deaths, but it's known to be the longest war ever.
The fuck did they do then? Just yell at each other across the pond?
Yeah.
You suck!
You're a loser! We're better than you!
I'm coming for you!
When?
Someday!
One of these days, we will have a battle. Oh man, the Dutch. Classic. Number 48. I did hear about this happening. It's very sad. A typing error of a single hyphen in coding of a rocket caused it to blast before takeoff. This cost NASA NASA. Jesus, I can't talk. It cost NASA $630 million.
Holy shit.
Just because they accidentally had a hyphen in the coding. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Not good. Imagine the guy who did that.
Yeah. Oh God, he probably got fired.
Yeah. This one's cute. Number 49. In 1952, the Great Smog of London, there were blind people that helped others find their way and get home without seeing because they knew how to like do that because they're so used to it. So they were helping people.
Oh, that's cool.
I was like, and then this last one is just funny. So number 50, the guy who invented garden gnomes did so because he thought he'd attract real gnomes for tea. Which I love.
That's hilarious.
I just think of Sims where they all just appear.
Oh my God, I know. And then your sim can't walk around them.
Yeah.
So you're just like, get rid of you. But they sell for quite a bit.
They do. That is the nice part. Mm-hmm. So there's 50 random facts for you.
Yeah, those are very inspirational and like digging in a little bit deeper.
Yeah, there's a few that I'm like, oh, I want more information on that.
Yeah.
But there you go.
I like that. That was fun.
Yeah, just something fun. A nice short episode before we get into whatever Jamie's talking about.
So much stupid shit that people did in history, though.
Right?
You just kind of sit back and you're like, what?
I just love the rabbits.
Yeah.
Attacking Napoleon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining in. What did you learn?
I learned that I'm glad that even though we don't have all of history, I'm glad that some stupid things were documented.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that is honestly, I like that.
Yeah.
I agree with that because there is so much because like looking at it now, everything is documented on like social media, like every single little thing that people do, every single event that goes on, and of course there's like the stupid things that you're just like, what the heck? But it's so much more, I find it so much more interesting reading them from like 100 or 1,000 years ago of just like, people did stupid shit too.
Right.
Like it's not a new thing.
Yeah, we've always been stupid. It's a fun part of life.
Just finding your way.
Yep.
Oh gosh. Where can you find us?
You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube at Historia the Podcast. You can email us at historiathepodcast@gmail.com.
Yay.
So we will catch you guys next week.
Yes.
Wait, can you give us some hints on what your topic is? Or like 2 hints or 1 hint?
I'm trying to think of one that won't give it away.
Okay.
But it's in an area that we've discussed several times
Germany.
on this podcast.
Germany? We've talked about Germany a lot.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll find out, I guess.
Yes, it'll be fun. It's going to be a long one. So.
Yay. All right.
Yes.
We'll see you then.
Next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.